Our emotions as individuals and as couples are powerful motivators. Sometimes people don't even try to discuss differences until they become very upset, very angry, and that motivates them to suddenly blurt out what's on their mind, something that's been bothering them for a long period of time. However, if we allow our emotions to control us and to direct us, we almost always bring up a subject in an angry way, and we start shaming and blaming our partner for the problem. And this for our partner comes out of nowhere. It's like they were looking the other direction and we hit them with a 2x4. And we wonder why, when we are motivated by our feelings in that way and speak out angrily about the issue that bothers us, why something good doesn't come out of that. The only good that comes out of that is you may have a cathartic experience, which means you were all pent up with a lot of anger and frustration, and after blurting out everything that's on your mind, you've kind of emptied yourself and you feel a sense of peace or calm that wasn't there before. But for your partner, it's as if you threw up all over them with all the words, all the blaming, all the shaming, all the accusations said in an angry and frustrated way. So if we're going to be understood, we have to express our feelings in a way to our partner that makes them comprehensible. For example, the best way to explain our feelings is to, first of all, talk about the causal event. You know, something happened. Our partner did something or didn't do something. For example, they said they were going to clean up their room, where their office is or whatever. And you come home and they haven't done anything to clean up the place that they said they were. And that's what bothers you. Instead of blurting out, you never do what you say, you know, I can't count on you to help at all, your room's a terrible mess, you said you're going to, well, that's not going to get you a good response. That's not going to move you towards a resolution of the issue. But if you think about it and put it together in a more calm way, it could be something like this. You know, when you say to me that you're going to clean up your room today, and I come home and find out you didn't, I feel really upset like that. And then you give your interpretation. When you do that, I begin to believe I can't trust what you're going to say. I think you're just saying things to get me off your back, and I can't trust that you're going to cooperate and help. So you talk about the circumstances that cause the feelings. You explain without blaming the other person, I feel this way, not you make me feel. And then you explain your interpretation. That will make your emotions understandable, comprehensible by your partner. But if you just spurt out things without an organized way of expressing your emotions, all you're going to get is your partner at the end of your blurting out things thinking, boy, you sure are angry. Well, what good has that done? That hasn't got you one step towards resolving whatever the issue may be. So we got to remember, if we're going to discuss, you know, difficult issues, we need to be at our best. Like I said, once a week, a special time, everybody's going to be at their best. You come in calm and relaxed. You've thought about the subject, and now you're trying to communicate about the issue so that your partner can comprehend where you're coming from. So we've got to stay away from shaming and blaming. We've got to stay away from only talking when we're angry and upset, but instead the very opposite. When we're calm and relaxed is the best time for us to express what we're thinking, although it has to be a mutually agreed upon thing. We're going to discuss this issue now. Not I've decided we're going to discuss this issue and you're going to have to do it whether you want to or not. It must be mutually agreed. And everybody, if they can approach it in a calm way and think through what's going on, and the goal is to try to express as clearly as you can where you're coming from so your partner can understand what the dynamics, what's going on inside of you, since they're not a mind reader. So again, the step-by-step process of explaining your feelings. When this happens, I feel this way, and here's my interpretation of it. Why this event occurring in this way makes me feel this way is because this is my understanding of what is going on. So if we can learn just these simple principles, they're not complicated, they're simple, but unfortunately most couples don't practice these simple principles in a consistent way, and so that's why people want to avoid conflict. That's why they don't want to try to resolve issues, because they think that any attempt to do so is going to only end up with a big squabble, only end up with a bunch of angry people saying a lot of things in anger that they don't really mean, that only hurt the other person. So let's not let our emotions control us. Instead, let's be able to explain how we really feel. You know, we shouldn't be repressing our feelings, because repressed feelings will always come out, but they will come out at an inappropriate moment. Have you ever suddenly your partner yells at you and they're all upset over some small event? And of course, it wasn't that event that made them upset. It's that they'd repressed their feelings dozens and dozens of times, and all of a sudden you do something that reminds them of this feeling of anger and frustration at you, and it just comes out in an explosive way. So let's not repress our feelings. But on the other hand, let's not just throw up all over our partner with all these feelings that make no sense. But let us explain our feelings to our partner so that, again, we come towards a better understanding of one another. So important if we're going to resolve issues that we have between one another.